Thank you for joining us. This tutorial will review the HUD-50058 reporting requirements for the Housing Choice Voucher Homeownership Program. The HUD Form-50058 is a module in the HUD IMS PIC system. IMS PIC stands for Inventory Management System Public Housing Information Center. The 50058 captures information about participants in the HCV program and public housing residents. Housing authorities are required to submit 50058 data on each assisted household. The 50058 data provides HUD with information about program participants. From this data, they are able to generate reports on families who participate in public housing or Section 8 rental subsidy programs. Under the homeownership option, a housing authority can use Housing Choice Voucher assistance to help a family with monthly home ownership expenses rather than providing rental assistance to a landlord. Information on families assisted under the HCV Homeownership Program is captured on the 50058. In this tutorial, we will go over both Section 15 of the standard 50058 and Section 22 of the MTW 50058. Here are links on HUD's website where you can find the HUD 50058 and the HUD 50058 MTW forms. First, we'll go over each of the fields in Section 15 of the standard 50058. You are probably using a software system to enter 50058 data, so it doesn't look like the 50058 form, but you will still complete each of the fields. Your software system should automatically make the fields for the homeownership option available. On the standard form 50058, the program type in field 1C will be set to VO for vouchers. The action types are found in field 2A, as you can see here. You must complete Section 15 information for homeownership vouchers if the action type is a new admission, an annual or interim re-exam, portability move-in, or other change of unit. These are the questions from the homeownership section 15. You'll notice that many of the questions are similar to a regular voucher rent calculation. However, for the homeownership option, you will use homeownership expenses and allowances rather than rental expenses. There are 12 fields in Section 15, plus an additional 6 fields for prorated assistance if the family is a mixed household. Let's walk through the first set of fields. Is the family now moving into the home? If yes, this will flag for HUD that a new homeownership closing has occurred and the housing authority is eligible for a $200 closing fee. Next, enter the date of the initial Housing Quality Standards inspection. Did the family move into your PHA's jurisdiction under portability? If portable, enter the monthly amount billed to the initial PHA under portability. If portable, enter the initial PHA's 2-letter state code and 3-digit ID number. 15F, enter monthly homeownership costs, including principal and interest, taxes and insurance, and any mortgage insurance premium if applicable. 15G, enter the utility allowance. In this section, the only new question you've seen is the homeownership cost. The next set of questions in Section 15 are again not too different from the regular voucher calculations, except that we are looking at homeownership expenses instead of rental expenses. 15H, enter the amount of the allowance for monthly routine maintenance costs. I, the amount of allowance for major home repairs and replacements. J, enter co-op occupancy charges or condominium association assessments, if applicable. K, enter the amount of principal and interest for debt associated with home improvements. M, calculate the tenant's total cost of home ownership, adding the previous fields together. Line N is for the payment standard used. P, the lower of the gross homeownership expense or the voucher payment standard. Enter the total tenant payment. The amount of monthly homeownership assistance payment. Subtract the total tenant payment from the lower of either the gross homeownership expenses or voucher payment standard. 15S will be the total amount that the family contributes towards homeownership. This group of questions applies if you have a mixed household. This is similar to a rental voucher household, and your software system should automatically calculate this for you if you correctly answered the questions related to eligible immigration status in Section 3 of the 50058. Enter the normal total HAP, the total number of eligible household members, the total number of household members. Calculate the proration percentage by dividing the eligible household members by the total household members. The prorated HAP is equal to the total HAP times the proration percentage. And the mixed family total share is gross home ownership expenses minus prorated HAP. Now let's take a look at the homeownership section of the MTW 50058. On the MTW Form 50058, the program type field 1C will be set to H for home ownership. The action types are found in field 2A. For homeownership vouchers, line 1C needs to be set to H, and you will complete section 22 information for homeownership vouchers if the action type is a new admission, an annual or interim re-exam, a portability move-in, or other change of unit. Here is the list of questions for the homeownership section 22. You'll notice that many of the questions are similar to a regular voucher rent calculation. However, for the homeownership option, you will use homeownership expenses and allowances rather than rental expenses. There are 14 fields in section 22. First answer, is this a flat or income-based subsidy? Next, is the family now moving into the home? If yes, this will flag for HUD that a new homeownership closing has occurred and the housing authority is eligible for a $200 closing fee. Enter the date of the initial housing quality standards inspection. Did the family move into your PHA's jurisdiction under portability? If they moved into your jurisdiction under portability, enter the monthly amount billed to the initial PHA. Also, if portable, enter the initial PHA's 2-letter state code and 3-digit identification number. Enter the monthly homeownership cost, including principal and interest, taxes and insurance, any mortgage insurance premium. Next, enter the utility allowance or utility estimate. Enter the amount of allowances for monthly routine maintenance costs, major home repairs, and maintenance and co-op condominium assessments. Enter the total cost of homeownership, the sum of homeownership costs and allowances. If a flat subsidy, enter the total amount of subsidy. Line 22M, enter the total amount the family contributes towards homeownership. 22N, if a mixed family, enter the total family contribution based on the proration calculation. and line 22P is the family paying the ceiling payment for this unit. If you have any questions or run into challenges completing the homeownership sections of the 5058, you or your agency designee can call your IMS PIC coach. There are IMS PIC coaches in every HUD field office. If you aren't sure who yours is, this link will bring you to the webpage that provides that information. Once you click on the link in the prior slide, you will have an option to access the most current list of IMS PIC coaches. It is important to complete and submit data about your HCV participants and public housing residents accurately through the HUD 50058. Having information on participants who utilize the HCV homeownership option will help HUD have an accurate picture of who is utilizing the program.